Hi friends, welcome to VCreation Technologies.
Please like and subscribe to our channel so that when we upload new videos into our channel so that you will get latest notifications.
Today we are going to discuss about VS Code in browser. So what do you mean by VS Code or Visual Studio Code in browsers? So basically the Visual Studio Code team launches the itself Visual Studio Code in the browser. So now no need to install the Visual Studio Code app in your local system or in your laptop or in your system. So directly you can go to the browser and browse that particular URL and directly you can code there and commit it. So the simple thing is no need to install the app, directly you can go to the browser and code it. So let me show you how you can do that. So before I move to the browser itself, let me first show you how the Visual Studio Code looks like. So basically this Visual Studio Code I installed in my system or my laptop. So this is how the Visual Studio Code looks like. So now if I go to the browser, so now this is my browser and here you can see vscode.dev. So this is the actually URL. You need to type in the browser and after that hit enter. So here let me just reload it. So after reload, here you can see this is my Visual Studio Code and this is actually available in the browser. So in the top portion here you can see the Visual Studio Code preview, anywhere anytime entirely in your browser. So now you can code it anywhere anytime entirely in your browser. So let's say you are traveling or let's say you are in a vacation or you are going to your hometown or somewhere else. So at the same time if you get some issues, then directly you can go to the browser and you can code it. So this is actually looks like the same as you have in the Visual Studio Code app which is installed in my local machine. And here you can see if I press Ctrl+Shift+P, so which will show me all the commands, and I can open my terminal window and everything. So this is my terminal window, and here also I can open the my local folder also as well as the remote repository. Suppose let's say I have a remote repository which is available in the Git or GitHub. So I can from here I can open my remote repository. Suppose let's say I have a local folder which is let's say present of the React.js. So I can open that and I can edit the code, I can modify the code and I can commit it. So for the remote repository also, like from the Git or GitHub, I can open it and I can change or modify or whatever I want to do. So suppose let's say I want to delete some of the code, I want to add some of the code, so whatever I can do it and I can commit it. So now let me just open my local folder. So if I click on open folder, so here you can see let me open this example. Alright, let me open this my app folder. So here you can see it is just showing a pop-up. So at that time click view files. So now here you can see my app is my React.js project, and here it is showing that node modules, public and everything. So this is my src, so everything. So directly here I can go and change couple of codes, I can modify couple of codes, I can delete some of the codes and everything. So now the best thing is I can code anytime anywhere and everything in my browser itself. So no need to install this Visual Studio Code app in my local machine. So let's talk about the advantages. So let's say if I use this VSCode.dev in my browser, then what are the advantages of using it? So the first advantage is anytime anywhere I can code it. So let's say I am traveling, I am going to my home, I am going to some city, or so at that time if I face some of the issues, then I can directly open my repository and I can code it and I can commit it. And the second advantage is it's not about like if you can see this is my laptop, so you can open in your tablet, you can open in your mobile phone. So this vscode.dev, this URL you can open anywhere, like it is available in all the browsers. Now let's move to the disadvantages. So the first disadvantages I can see is that from here I cannot run the code, because from here you can see, if I go to the actually this is my Visual Studio Code app which is installed in my local machine. So if I go to the terminal, so here you can see from this terminal I can run my React application. So but here in the browser itself, if I go to the terminal, then here in the terminal window you can see terminals are not available in the web editor. To use the terminal, you will need to continue in an environment that can run code like a code space and or local VS Code. So from here you cannot run your application. It's not like React application. You cannot run any kind of other applications also. So which means you cannot run like Angular application, React application, or whatever application. So you simply cannot run it. To run the terminal, to run this application, either you need a code space or in the local VS Code. So actually this is my local VS Code, and here you can see this terminal window is active mode. So from here I can run my code, but from this web version or web editor I cannot run my VS Code. And if I go to this run and debug portion, here also it is mentioned that run and debug are not available in the web editor. To run and debug, you will need to continue in an environment that can code like a code space or local VS Code. So which means the simple thing is you need a local VS Code to run this kind of applications. Now the second disadvantages I can see is like in some of the mobiles, like it is not quite compatible. Like if you because last few days back I had opened in my mobile phone, and you can see it is not quite compatible. So either you need to open in the laptop or in the desktop somewhere. So it in some of tablet you can open it and code it, but in mobile phone, as you can as you know that the screen is little bit small, so there it is not quite compatible. Yeah, but the last thing is that if the Visual Studio Code team can improve these things, then it is a quite advantageous for all of the people. So like let's say if I change some of the code and I cannot run it, means I cannot see my output. So to see the output I need to again go to my local VS Code, and that is the problem. So let's say I'm traveling to some city, or I'm in the vacation and I face some of the issues, then I can code in the browser, but I cannot run and check the issues, like what is the exact issue, and that is the main problem. And for that I need to again go to my local VS Code, and I need to open that same code and run it. So that is a big disadvantages. So these are the disadvantages which I think Visual Studio Code team can improve. Then I think this is the best web version of the Visual Studio. So this is all about our today's video. Thank you.